You are up. And I know y'all are feeling this. So let's just get into it. I think I'm going to start with Pisces first. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. How can this Cancer new moon encourage better emotional discernment? So I feel like all water signs have some difficulty with emotional boundaries. But of course it manifests differently throughout all three. Pisces can sometimes lose themselves in other people and absorb and internalize the projections of others and how others want them to be. Right, being mutable, that's a mutable kind of characteristic. Being able to go with the flow so much that like it's kind of hard to see who you are. So let's see what's going on with Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. How can Pisces practice better emotional discernment? I like that. How can Cancer practice better emotional discernment? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. I like that. And lastly, how can Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus practice better emotional discernment? Ooh. All right. So Pisces. We have the Ten of Pentacles here. I think this is great, right? First of all, ground yourself. That's the first step. Grounding. Knowing what you feel. What are your feelings? What are your goals? What do you want? All of that, right? Grounding yourself in who you are and your beliefs, regardless of what anybody else around you believes or thinks. That's the first step, right? Because with the Ten of Pentacles here, and I'm not surprised that this came up because, like I said, Cancer is also a familial card, right? Or a familial energy, right? When you're able to ground yourself and understand what foundations you want and what you require in order to build and grow, right? Because that's what the Ten of Pentacles is about. Legacy, foundation, stability, especially in the long term. When you can understand those things for yourself, then it becomes way easier to know who or who not to engage with because of what they believe or what they want for themselves. If it doesn't align, you are not going to now contort yourself to make that your thing. You know what I'm saying? It's either you both are on the same page or you're not, and you keep it pushing, right? So like I said, Pisces can do this thing where, you know, you get kind of lost in people or in situations to the point where you are mirroring and you don't know where you are, right? So when you ground yourself and you understand what you want for yourself as far as stability, your goals, your foundations, your legacy, all of those things, it becomes easier to know where to place your emotions, where to direct your emotions, what emotions are yours and what are you absorbing from other people because of what they project on you or because of what they expect you to be, right? And this is also, you know, for you to not idealize things as well. Because you're ruled by Neptune and Jupiter, it's easy to get lost in your fantasies and then just keep getting lost in them, and the fantasy gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you forget that that's not the reality. And that becomes really hard to cope with, because in your head you've seen it this way and it's unfolding this way and it's going this way, but in reality it's actually not. So when you ground yourself, when you understand what it is that you are working towards, what it is you're building, what it is that you want for yourself, not just in the short term but also in the long term, then it's a lot easier to know who to allow in your energetic spaces. It's easier to know what is actually you're feeling and what are you picking up from someone else, and to let that go, right? Now, Cancer, we have the Knight of Swords. And I really like that because Cancer, similar to Taurus, can be really tight-lipped about what they're feeling, especially if it doesn't feel safe to express emotions or vulnerability. But with this Knight of Swords here, it gets easier to practice emotional discernment the more that you speak about your emotions and what you require. And I feel like this is just encouraging you to go forth boldly with what it is that you feel and speak that, right? Express boldly what you feel and stand on that. Excuse me. Again, burping, I feel like that may make some of you feel a little nervous, and I get it, because you don't want to make anyone feel bad with what you say or, you know, your decisions that you make, because it may affect them in a negative way, meaning that it's just not at their benefit. And sometimes that happens, you know, you can't control that, right? That's another thing. Not worrying about controlling how someone is going to react to you, not being so hyper aware of yourself that you just shut everything down so that you are now performing for people instead of just existing and being as you are, right? So be as you are, speak your truth, and don't allow how someone may react to you expressing your needs stop you from expressing your needs, right? Because like I said before, it's like a sieve, right? When you are able to express yourself, when you're able to say, hey, I feel this way, or I don't want this energy around me, so I'm not going to engage in this way, then you're filtering out all the nonsense and the BS, and you can get the thing that you actually want, right? So keep moving forth, Cancer, and speaking your truth. Allow yourself to feel uncomfortable with speaking your truth, but do it anyway, okay? And do so with confidence, because that just reinforces to yourself that you matter, your emotions matter, and you're important, because you are. And then Scorpio, the King of Wands in reverse. So I believe the King of Wands came up for Leo, but it was upright. And so like I was saying with Leo, you know, it can be pretty quick to switch to a King of Wands in reverse when you begin to do more self-serving things, when you aren't honest about what your intentions are or what it is that you're looking for, and then it becomes manipulative, because now you're trying to control these things outside of you so that you can get what it is that you want. And I feel like this Cancer new moon here is really showing you, like, not to fall into this energy, right? That's how you practice better emotional discernment, when you stop trying to control how everyone's going to respond to you, because you don't want to deal with their reaction. That's manipulative, right? And that's not honest. And then that reinforces your own paranoia about people not being real and hiding things from you, and it raises your suspicion, and it just creates this cycle. Scorpio, you know, being a fixed water sign, you get caught in cycles very quickly, and you can get caught in them for a long time. And so don't get caught in the cycle of not being transparent with folks. Don't get caught in the cycle of wanting to dictate the way that others respond to you because you're going to be uncomfortable with their reaction. That's not fair to you, and it's definitely not fair to them. You have to be real with yourself in certain ways where you can recognize your self-destructive patterns and stop holding on to them so much because that's what kept you safe. No, that's what kept you closed off from everyone. That's what kept you paranoid. That's what kept you mistrustful of anyone outside of you. And then now you're also neglecting yourself because you're not allowing yourself to speak your truth. You're not being full and vulnerable in what it is that you're feeling. And I understand it's because you want to keep yourself safe, but it ends up being manipulative. It ends up making it hard for people to trust you. And in turn, then you don't trust them. And again, you get caught in this cycle of paranoia and mistrust and closing people out and keeping them distant and basically hurting them before they can hurt you, right? So it's important that you recognize when you're doing these things. And stop resisting the change that needs to happen because it's for your benefit. And if that's what you're doing all of this for already, then this new thing, this new way of doing things needs to be embraced in that same way. No, you can't control how people are going to react to you. No, you can't control if that means that they want to have you in their life or not. But it's disingenuous to deny a person that opportunity and choice to decide if they want to deal with you and vice versa. And so when you do that to someone else, then it gets done back to you. And like I said, it keeps enforcing this mistrust and paranoia in everyone outside of you. When it's really you not trusting yourself. When it's really you not being comfortable with your own emotions. When it's really you not wanting to appear weak or overly emotional. You have to get over that. You have to get over your ego. You have to get over yourself, because that's what that is. Your ego is injecting and playing on your fear of being hurt. Sometimes we don't have control over if we get hurt or not. And sometimes even when we do, it still hurts. But you have to have light and dark together. There is not one without the other. So if you're trying to be on that wave of, I don't want to feel any negative feelings, positive vibes only, no negativity, no drama, no nothing, recognize that the denial of difficult emotions, the denial of difficult situations existing will bring you chaos, and it will bring you drama, and it won't bring you the positive vibes that you say you want, okay? So be real with yourself about that, Scorpio. All right? And then the overall energy here, the overall energy for this reading is the sun. So, when you're water signs, when you're able to do these things for yourself, it will restore you, right? It will restore your life force. It will restore your vitality. You won't feel weighed down by the world and the emotions and feelings of the world, because you know what to take as yours and you know what not to take, right? And that will leave you feeling lighter. You will be more inspired. You will be more inclined to connect and be active and enjoy other people's energy without losing yourself in them, or without being afraid of them, or without holding back who you are for real. Okay, so make sure you all are really taking the time to do these things for yourselves, because it's important, and you deserve that. that. We all deserve that honesty, and we have to give that to ourselves first. Okay? So, thank you all for tuning in. I hope this resonated. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tell the homies. Share all over your social media if you'd like. And if you feel inclined to tip, I'll leave my information below. I am also open for readings for July, so feel free to book with me, and I'll catch you all later. Have a lovely day.